That is actually very good.
So where in Britain are you from?
Scotland.
Ah, you're Scottish.
I am.
Ah,
And I've actually been to Canada as well.
really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I must admit, I did a bit of Vancouver and Toronto.
Vancouver is my city.
Vancouver, beautiful.
Vancouver is my city.
All the islands and absolutely.
I actually grew up on the northern tip of Vancouver Island.
Oh, okay.
My father was a doctor in the military.
Was he?
Mm-hmm. There's a piece of tidbit that nobody else knows.
Ah.
There you go.
Which is interesting for me.
I was just going to say, you might get some more interesting things just because you're a different age group. Yeah. Actually, I know a lot of the younger women here, and I knew some of them back there as well. And I know quite a bit.
Rosamund, if you don't mind, bro,
No.
could you sit over there, mate?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you. Cheers.
How did you get into documentaries?
Long story.
Yeah. By the way, I was born just outside of Toronto.
Were you?
My father went to McMaster.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Wow.
I was born in Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's home ground for some of us here. There's there's a couple of Canadians here from Toronto.
I am obviously going to be asking a few questions. Some you won't like.
I'll try to do the best I can. You want to give me a heads up on ones I won't like ahead of time?
No.
You want my actual reaction?
I want the actual reaction.
All right,
Yeah.
all
What
right.
time do we finish?
I don't
1
know.
hour we have.
So.
Ooh, they didn't give me much time.
Yeah. No.
I'll do my best.
So, Kimberly Pullman. How old are you just now?
46.
46 right now.
Yeah.
Right, we're at Roche Camp, and we're interviewing Kimberly Pullman. 46 years old, from Canada, Vancouver.
That's right.
Your father was you just said to me, he was ex-military.
Yeah, he was a doctor.
He was a doctor.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what year did you come? What year did you come and join the caliphate?
2000. I never joined,
Mm.
but I came the summer of 2015.
Summer of 2015. So, Kimberly, you came to join the caliphate 2015.
I came to be with a husband
With
who
your
was
husband,
here. Yeah.
And your husband was from
Kenya, Somalia.
Kenya, Somalia. So you followed him here.
Actually he was injured and he told me to come, and
Right.
I ended up coming with the understanding that I could leave.
Was he a fighter for ISIS? What was he
Yes.
doing?
Yeah, I think he was initially. I think that he went through Muaskar, but he was injured in Muaskar. He was injured at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, no, he was Amniyat. Yeah.
Which is?
I think the best way to probably put that is, for the best of what I know, and I didn't know any of this then. I've learned about more of this as time went on. Actually, some of what I'm even learning now.
Mm.
I learn more all the time that I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Is that he was working with it's basically the secret police. If you compared it to a Gestapo, it would be kind of on par, I think. Yeah.
And you didn't know that until afterwards?
I knew nothing.
Did he ever explain any of his work?
Yeah, he was in a katiba, and so I assumed, and because he was injured, he was in an injured katiba, and he was out all the time interacting with other people, so I never questioned it, because when I came I didn't have a knowledge of how these units all work. You don't know all that.
Yeah.
Most women don't know that. So I never questioned any of that.
Did he ever discuss any of his work? He must have been, to be doing that, he must have been very, very
Well, he was in
committed.
Shabab. He was in Shabab before.
Shabab.
Yeah. He had a whole history.
He was clearly committed to ISIS.
He never came out, so yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So is he still alive, or?
I don't believe so, no.
Where
I
did you
heard
see
that
him?
he never came out of Baghouz.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And you came out of Baghouz?
Yeah, like a few months before, yeah.
Yeah. So when you came to join your husband in the caliphate, what route did you take to get here?
I came through Europe, and then I came into Turkey, and then I was put in safe houses, and then I was brought in.
Ah, so how long were you in Turkey?
3 weeks, maybe?
3 weeks.
I think. It wasn't right away.
Yeah.
I was brought in, and now I understand a little bit more what happened. And I've been asked more about this recently, and it helped to get more information that I was given as well, is because I didn't come through the same way as a lot of other people did.
Right.
But I think the border shut the week I came.
Right.
That's what I understand. And I was guarded all the time. I wasn't able to maneuver from the time I came into Turkey, from the time I actually came into Syria.
When you crossed the border, how easy was it from crossing into Turkey to Syria? How easy was that?
It wasn't. And it wasn't like the other people's at all. And actually I got scared. I didn't like this.
You were working in a hospital, in an ISIS hospital.
That's right.
Obviously, you were treating everybody, including ISIS fighters.
No, never.
No?
No, Watani is completely segregated during the time that I was there.
Right.
As a matter of fact, a lot of the men, I think they hold the belief, some of them do, that you will never see Jannah if a woman who's not your wife even touches you. So they're quite particular about this. But actually, no. I worked in an underground unit, which is where the ICU, the Anayat, was.
Yeah.
And this is completely segregated. There's separate doors. Even the doctors would knock, and then the women would cover before they even came in. And that's the doctors, never mind anybody else.
Yeah. Was there any other Westerners in there working in the hospital? Was there...
Oh, yeah.
Where from?
I mean, Abu Yusuf was working there as a pediatrician.
Yeah.
There were others that may have had Western training.
Yeah.
I didn't see a lot of other nurses. I've been asked about that too, but we kept, number one, it's incredibly busy.
How effective was the coalition airstrikes, drone strikes?
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What effect did that have on Daesh, on the fighters? What effect did that have on the morale of everybody?
In Raqqa?
In Raqqa, yeah.
In Raqqa?
In Raqqa, yeah.
In Raqqa, if I think back to what effect did it have, I think a lot of people didn't realize how well-oiled a machine militaries that have been working together and forming together for many, many years that are very well trained. I think a lot of the men were young, maybe naive, didn't fully grasp how effective that a campaign would be, and that they would actually know what they needed to do to systematically, that there was plans in place. And actually the coalition made it very clear what their plans were. They never lied about anything. They actually said what they were going to do. Yeah. So
it was the aim.
To me, there was an underestimation from ISIS, not the other way around. They were the coalition was extremely clear.
Yeah, the coalition was clear. We're here to destroy ISIS.
They said that this is going to stop. We don't. And I mean, to my knowledge, ISIS refused to allow the women and the children to leave. They refused to allow to sit down to the table to do anything diplomatic. To the best of my knowledge, there was a lack of willingness to come together on this. And to me, that's what probably would happen when the bulk of them are probably 20-year-olds. I probably would think that might happen.
What did you personally think of the coalition airstrikes? You personally?
I think, on the one hand, I had a very clear understanding of what their goal was, and I understood why. I come from a non-Muslim family. I come from Canada, and I've traveled a fair bit in my lifetime, not as much as I would like to, but I think it teaches you about appreciation of other cultures. And while on the one hand I understood what some of their goals were, and there were good people in there, there's never all bad. There's always some good people that are within that. And I think that their intentions really were seeing racism, seeing prejudices that really hurt Muslims, and seeing bombings and coming from war zone areas where they feel vulnerable and unprotected and feel like they're not respected. I can see where they would be coming from. The problem is that I don't think that could appreciate the other side, or how to come together in a diplomatic
The
way.
thing is, the caliphate was built on murder,
Lies.
mass,
Money, power.
mass rape, mass child molestation. The Yazidis, for example,
Yeah.
but also the beheading of Westerners on TV. I think what people are going to be asking is, all of this was happening from roughly August of 2014.
Right.
Yet you still came in 2015
Right.
after the caliphate had been declared in
Right.
Mosul,
Right.
and after all of that, that was all over the world's
Right.
media.
Right.
Did you not see all of that? Why did you still? Did you see it? Did you see the beheadings and the? Did you see the beheadings and the?
To this day, I've never seen one.
But it was all. But you're from Canada. You're
Right.
from the West.
Right.
You must have seen a paper. You must have seen it on social media, on a TV. You must have seen. It was all over the world's media in 2014. You must. Alan Hinnon. He came here. He came to help Muslims, and they kidnapped him on the border. It was all. All of this was
I actually don't know
all
all the
over.
journalist stories. It's actually good to hear, because I actually don't know. I've heard
He wasn't
names.
a journalist. He was a charity worker. He was a charity worker. Really, really a good man. He was a charity worker. All of that was all over the world. They never executed him. They murdered him.
Yeah.
They cut his head off in front of the world.
I use execution because whatever way they killed, they killed.
They murdered.
I just use, but we can.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I know. I agree with
for
you.
me, I tend to use the term murder.
You realize that there is also a price on my head. That also that it's not that we understand this actually.
Did you meet any Yazidi women and children?
I actually, my life, because I was working in the hospital, and I've been asked this question before, if I came into contact with. I'm actually grateful in many ways that I didn't, because I don't know what I would have really done, because I couldn't help myself, never mind anybody else. So I don't know.
Part of the reason that the coalition got so heavily involved in saying, right, we've got to defeat Daesh, we've got to stop them, was because of Sinjar and what was going on there.
Yeah.
Did you see that on TV? It was all over the world's media.
Okay.
Every media station, every newspaper, online. You couldn't miss it. Did you see that? Did you know about it? You know about it?
Would you like to know?
Yes, of course I would.
I'll try.
But this isn't for me. You've got to remember, this is for people watching it to try and understand.
Yeah, and I will try. I understand we have a bit limited time, but
Yeah.
I'll try to help to connect the dots of what actually happened. And I can only speak about my own situation.
Yes,
I can't
of course,
speak about anybody
yes.
else's.
Yeah.
And I have no interest in lying, because I believe that what happened here was so horrific. And I have my own story, and I am not coming out of this unharmed either. And there's others as well. And eventually, maybe there will be, as time goes by, I hope that there will be a better, clearer picture that comes out. I think right now that picture is still very much, this is horrific, and everybody that was involved in this is also that way. And that is about as untrue as anything I could ever imagine. And I would hate to see that would be the outcome of this, because you're going to miss some very important details that happened here.
But I think for the world, and for everybody that watched what was going on, the caliphate was built on. It was built on.
It's based on everything that our societies hate.
Yes.
And what we try to fight against.
And yes, but this is where it comes into play. You and a lot of other Westerners.
But did we all know that?
Came. Well, I don't see how you could have missed it on the media.
Okay, that's where maybe I can try to explain a little bit.
I have to go back.
Okay.
By coming here to join the caliphate, do you feel that by Westerners coming, and you yourself, by coming here, you supported and you supported the caliphate.
By coming here, it basically says, it sends a public message that says that because I came to Syria, that automatically I support beheadings. I believe in this ideology.
Are you part?
That this is what would be automatically understood.
But by coming here, the crimes committed in the name of the caliphate, in the name of ISIS, and in the name of, they claim, Islam. By you coming here, do you not hold some responsibility because you came here? You came to help build the caliphate.
No.
But the caliphate was built on murder.
No, I won't take responsibility for something that I did not do. I'll take responsibility for what I did do.
Personally, you may not have.
But do I take responsibility
for coming to support it, to help build it?
Okay, what I came for. And what my own personal story is, like I said, I can't speak for everybody else. Just for you. But if you'd like to know how it was that you're correct with all this media going on, how did I not see all of this? How did I not? Number one, actually, a journalist was here a while back, and she was one of the ones that was actually in charge of censorship in Canada. So when I would hear about something, and I would click on it, inevitably, what was going to come up as this image is now been taken down due to copyright, blah, 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 or due to an image. And she talked at length to me about this because she realized that their censorship was so strong that actually the Western media itself ended up being counter to what they were trying to do. By not seeing it all, I actually ended up being pulled in the direction that a husband was pulling me, and my head was filled with what he was giving, not the Western media.
But they didn't try to stop they were slow in trying to stop the ISIS propaganda. It was still freely available in 2014,
but
2015.
I'm not living on YouTube like a 20-year-old.
No, but do you do Facebook, Twitter?
I do Facebook.
Do you read newspapers? Do you watch TV?
I didn't have cable, no. And as for Twitter, my Twitter was filled with people that were here. So what you have to kind of, if you can put yourself in a situation where if I can paint a bit of a picture of what my life kind of looked like to help give a perspective maybe, is that I had been home and it was my third bout of pneumonia. I'd been released from hospital, I was at home. During that time was when Gaza was taking some pretty serious hits. My Facebook feed was filled with Palestinian children and then Syrian children. It was non-stop because the media was this was being well publicized at that point, and that would have been in 2014-ish, somewhere earlier on. And I ended up going on to I never had a Twitter account before that actually, and my Facebook was purely for my family. I didn't really have a few colleagues from work, that kind of thing. But I never used them for anything, and I wasn't particularly political. I wouldn't say that I was concerned about my world, and I think I come from an educated background that we look at those things, and certainly in university already is when the Syrian war, so I went back to university.
See, the thing is, you're very well educated.
No, not really.
Well, you're quite, compared to most people here. But I need to ask, were you a practicing Muslim?
Since I was much earlier on than this. From like, I converted in 2004.
Right, okay.
And I was married before, and I lived in Kuwait. So some of what I experienced here is already, and having a Saudi Kuwaiti husband, I was asked about these things, is that didn't some of these practices concern you? Well, no, because they're going on there as well.
The thing is, you come from one of the freest, most democratic countries in the world.
Yeah.
And you've given up all of that freedom for this.
Okay,
what did you think when you came here? Did you think when you came here you'd have the same freedom and rights? You know the law that ISIS was operating under.
I didn't, not all of it. And at that time, some of what was promoted heavily by ISIS was very contradictory to the reality. So I would learn almost immediately of that reality and try to leave. Very quickly, and later I would be put into prison myself for that. So you have to realize,
when was that?
I was put into prison a year afterwards.
So that would have been 2016?
Yeah.
What did your husband at that time, Did he agree? Did he try and help you? What was his thoughts?
I had remarried.
You'd
and
remarried?
He fought heavily to get me out.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he may have entirely saved my life. Yeah.
Who was that?
He's in prison here. He willingly gave himself up.
Yeah, Baguz?
Yeah, he came out at the same time. We both did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we came out together.
How early or late?
So,
when? Because it was going on for I was actually there myself.
we were out before any of... I don't know exactly when they started doing the hudnas or whatever, but we were out before all of this.
Okay.
That we came out in January.
Ah, January.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. And actually,
Quite early.
he delayed going out because he was trying to convince the wives of some of his friends that were now deceased that he felt a responsibility from his own country. There were a lot of children that were orphaned. There was a lot of women.
Where was he from? Your husband?
Trinidad.
From Trinidad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he has my respect for that. He has a lot of people's for that.
Yeah.
So you couldn't just walk out of there. It wasn't ever going to happen that way.
But the thing is, you know, you had many other opportunities you and your husband to surrender, surely.
No, not with the knowledge that you
From
had.
Raqqa, where did you go to?
Okay, from Raqqa to outside of Mayadeen, from outside of Mayadeen to Al-Shara, to Abu Kamal, to Hajin, to Garanish, to Hajin, and to then in very quick succession out into Susa de Lagos.
One interesting thing that I came across.
But without money, and without the ability, and as a Western woman, you're being told by ISIS that they will sell you to the Shia, they will sell you to here, and we have women who disappeared that we have no idea what happened, and you're surrounded by landmines. So exactly how are you going to get out?
Well, I'll just... I saw.
You're told that the PKK will rape you, that they will do terrible things to you, and you don't know because you're surrounded in an environment that you don't know. And because you don't know who to believe and who to talk to.
During Mosul, we
No,
had a
I've
lot.
never been in Mosul.
But during Mosul, we had people that were traveling 2 days in this heat here to get out, traveling through them. They were traveling through the minefields and what have you because they were that desperate to get away from.
Yeah, and I did the
ISIS.
same thing at the end.
At the end, yeah.
At the end, I did the same thing because I gave up and I finally decided that if I died here, then I was going to die under their hand or this way.
Were you still treating the injured after the fall of Raqqa? Were you still
I never
nursing?
worked beyond that other than with the women that I knew.
Right.
I would be called to help with babies or help with illness or if a woman was in premature labor or things like this, then I would go to the women around me or be called to this. But other than that, I was not. I'm not a fully qualified nurse.
Yeah.
And when I came with some skills, and they may see those skills in a different light here, but I don't feel a confidence level to do those things. I'm not a doctor and I'm not that way. So can I help? Sometimes, yes, maybe. But I'm not comfortable with being given that title.
How do you feel about your family?
And actually, my grandfather was in the military in the US.
Well, this is
there you go. I have it on both sides.
Your grandfather was US military.
Yep.
Your father was Canadian military,
Correct.
but he was a doctor.
Yes.
And this is what. So your family, your family have a history of fighting against tyranny and against terrorism. They've got a history of fighting for freedom and democracy.
Absolutely.
And you came and joined everything that they fought against. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, if I had known, do you really think I would have ever done that, or that I would have fought so hard to come out, or that I would have watched my whole life and all that I had worked to build to fall completely apart? Do you really think that if I had known that I would have put myself in that kind of danger, that I would have put my family through the nightmare that they have gone through? I have a mother who is in the process of radiation with breast cancer and a sister that this last week that just had a 5-inch brain tumor removed. To say that I am needed on my family's home front, that we all support each other, would not be an underestimation. It never happens again.
I was actually going to bring up, if you got to Canada, what benefit would you be to Canada? Why would they trust you? What would you do to try and make up to not only your country, but your family?
Yeah, I've been asked that, and I think that the family relationships that I have probably wouldn't be as strong as they are if they felt that I was a card-carrying member. My family is quite strong, and if they felt that I'd done something wrong, they would probably be the first ones to turn me in to say, you are not safe in our society. I don't think that my family believes that that they have to stand by and support 100% somebody if they feel that that person is really a danger. I really don't think that they'd be willing to do that. You brought up a very good point, that in our family we have a lot of people that have a history and they support that history, and so do I. Maybe I didn't see things the way I see them today.
Start alcohol, bread and coffee, finishing as well. Yeah.
Western ISIS have been held, and then it's the last of the caliphate across there. They came here to join the caliphate. They lost. They are now prisoners, and they are being held with, in the distance, Mount Sinjar, where all the crimes started against the Yazidis. But what happened on that mountain woke up the world to ISIS and to what ISIS represented. But ISIS had been mass murdering well before that. But that mountain represents where the world woke up to ISIS. And it's just so, I don't know how to word it, but that's where all the ISIS from all over the world are now being held. Not all of them, obviously, but most of them. Most of them. So in a way, do they know what that mountain represents? I'd like to think they do. But in a way, it's sort of karma.
There's a demonstration in the town, so we're trying to get to Al Hall through the town. But we're having to go everywhere. But there's a lot of ISIS relatives that live in here, live in this town. So the driver was saying when they sometimes when they escape from the camp, they actually stay in the house here overnight first.
Right, in the Al Hall camp, we're just waiting to go into the tent again. Having to do this all in the quiet. Just
But you know, for me,
could I just move that back slightly, please?
I liked her. No, I liked her. I liked her.
Would it be okay here?
I just don't like her.
Is that okay?
But of course, when they got married, I was going
Yeah.
cool, you know? I was really going cool. I can imagine.
So it's been pretty stressful. Literally a weekend. It's been like, how do we do it? We're just about
So much stuff.
we had one option left, and we got it today. How, I don't know. Sorry. Actually, we could go into that again. Actually, it was something that I did need to think about. Actually, could you
about Baghuz?
No, ISIS in general. Did you ever witness any sort of beheadings or any punishments of hands cut off, hangings, any sort of?
At all. The only thing is like she said, with the girl there that was standing there, you'd see people in cages because of smoking or this kind of stuff. But when you're walking past, you'll see that, like there's just a cage. But with the beheading thing, like you'll hear something happened today, but they'll do it very fast and they'll be gone. And
Right.
they, like this.
Okay.
But for me personally, I didn't see it. Really, I didn't see it. But I hear, of course, I hear it. Or shop being shut down with a sign on it saying this person didn't close for prayer, so we closed it down. Like this you'd see because you read it, and that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
When you go into the shops and then you see that this happens.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Again,
and majority of
please.
the people that were standing around would be men. They have segregation between men and women, so the whole place would be men. So women are not allowed to be there.
How long were you bedridden?
For maybe half a year to almost half a year, 7 months. They told me, because I usually used to go in and out fainting and stuff, because my bone in my leg, it broke, half of my bone came out.
Yeah.
So I was bedridden, and from there I was using a wheelchair for a long time.
Okay. What's the biggest fear for everybody sitting here now? What's the biggest fear for everybody?
Fear is
For you,
in everything.
but all your friends, what is the biggest fear?
Biggest fear is, I guess dying here with all this, everything going on. This is my biggest fear.
Now, there's a final thing I do need to do. And I'm going to get this out. All of the ISIS propaganda online, did you not see? For example, I'll just show you this. This is an aid worker, he's called David Haynes, who's British. They beheaded him on TV. What would your message to the families? And now it's not only David, you've got another aid worker. He came to help Muslims, women and children. They kidnapped him as soon as he got across the border. And again, this is on him. And then you've got, here he is again. You have this guy, again, he's a Kurdish soldier, and he was beheaded on TV. That's a Kurdish one. And this here is the Manchester victims. The Manchester victims.
He showed me this one.
I have to ask you, what's your message to their families and to the British, to their families, their friends and the British public about ISIS, the organisation that you joined, murdered these people?
The thing is, like I said, it was really a vicious cycle. Everyone's killing everyone, okay? Like I told you, you'll find that the coalition airstrike will come here, bomb the women and children, and it's posted online.
But at this point, the coalition actually wasn't bombing ISIS.
Oh, regarding all of this happened then?
No, this was 2014 for Alan, for David,
Yes.
and they were beheaded in 2014.
And like I said, everyone who knew me, I'm a person of soft heart. I don't like killing, I don't like anything really. My aim was to come and help the way they came.
Yes, but my message is
Yes.
my question is, sorry, what is your message to their families?
Everyone has a part of being a victim of war, you understand? And we cannot change the past, but we can make a better future, you know? And that we have to, everyone has to stand strong, you know? Being a victim of war, it's not something,
These weren't victims of war.
Yeah.
You know, it's aid workers that came to help
I'm saying they were
Muslims.
victim of war because they died during a war that was happening, you understand? They were killed because there was a war going on here, you know, you understand? So they were victims of the war, like...
Do you know, they're victims of, but they're not only, they're victims of ISIS.
Yes.
But it's the ISIS that you joined and supported, so the crimes were committed in your name. Yeah, so please, what's your message to their families and to Britain?
Really, like I said, I was not a part of this, and I'm not in favour of anything that happened regarding anything. I'm not in favour that the coalition bombed children and women, and I'm not in favour that they went and made attacks there.
What would you say is worse? The coalition airstrikes on ISIS who were committing these crimes?
I was a part of it.
Or, yeah, but what I'm saying is, what is your is there not a difference between the coalition airstrikes on ISIS who were committing these crimes, cutting off aid workers' heads on TV? So is there not a difference between a coalition airstrike on ISIS to stop them and innocent aid workers that came, as you said, you came to help fellow Muslims? These guys, the British men that came to help, they came to help Muslim women and children, but they were beheaded by ISIS. So is that not the crime? How do you see that crime? So is that not the crime? How do you see that crime?
I understand. I have no part to do with this. I really saw, like, from my heart, I had nothing to do with this. I didn't do it, and I'm not for...
I'm not saying you did.
Yeah.
This is we know that we know that.
I was like,
But what I'm saying is, the crimes were committed in your name by joining ISIS. The crimes of ISIS, and this is where you need to understand. This is where the people see yourselves joining ISIS, that you've helped support that crimes. Them crimes are committed not only in the caliphate's name, but the caliphate that you helped to support, you came to join and support and grow. So them crimes, so it very much is, you know, yes, they're victims, but surely there's no comparison between Alan Hennon and David Haynes, and there is no comparisons between them and coalition airstrikes on ISIS who were committing them crimes.
You didn't understand my point. When this airstrike comes and bombs these people, they will retaliate and they will do attacks outside. I just want everything to stop.
Samia, we've been through just about everything, the whole journey. There is a couple of questions that we have to kind of get through at the end here. One being, why should you be taken back, allowed back into the UK? Why, not only you, but the others, why should you be allowed back after you joined ISIS? You gave up your country. ISIS has been committing mass murder against British citizens, whether it's Alan Hennons or whoever, you know, and all that was on the TV. All of that was all over the world's media, yet it seems that nobody in here saw any of that. So please tell us why.
you should be allowed back into the UK?
First of all, I'd like to say crimes that people have committed or done anything, I didn't do it and I played no part in it. Okay, like I said before, I was there from you're stuck there with no free will and not allowed to leave, and you're there while everything is being done. So why I should be held accountable for something? And she's busy. Come back later. Why I should be held accountable for what other people have done, basically. Like I said, these people that did go back home, what difference are we, you know? And especially in my case as well, I got injured the first year I was there, and I was bedridden for so long.
How long were you bedridden?
For maybe half a year to almost half a year, 7 months. They told me, because I usually used to go in and out fainting and stuff, because my bone in my leg, it broke, half of my bone came out.
Yeah.
So I was bedridden, and from there I was using a wheelchair for a long time.
But again, this is where it comes into play, and I have to emphasise this.
Yeah. I know the crimes and everything. I know this.
To everybody in Britain,
Yes.
everybody that joined ISIS gave up their rights the day that they joined, because you joined an Islamic State.
Okay, so if these 400 people that went back, they joined ISIS and they're back home, what difference are we? And we're younger, we're youths basically, and we were groomed online, you understand? So what difference are we from them? What difference are we from them? Do we not have, the crime for, I never knew coming to Syria was even a crime in itself, I don't know not much about the constitution and the laws, regarding this things, So what difference are we from them? The rest of the British citizens that did go back, what difference are we from them? Why are we not being taken back where we can, stand trial according to everyone's situation?
Again, how would you feel on? How would you feel about standing trial if need be? Are you willing to accept any British justice system?
No, the thing is, at the end of the day, for me, I know what I've done. Obviously, it's coming to a terrorist organization. What you didn't expect, it was all that was not true. Whatever they, what they said online and stuff like this. For me, it's of course, if I go there, of course, I'll accept what has been trialed on me, whatever. Of course, you just, as long as I get to see my family, my friends, my environment, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm in a safer place. I'm not in a place where tomorrow that because of you're thinking that you'll be attacked or the guards will do things to you and stuff like this, I know that I'm with my loved ones and that I'm home.
Again, I have to bring up this. People will be sitting at home. There will be people sitting at home and saying, you talk about your rights, about your family, about your rights here, but what about the rights of the victims of ISIS?
I played no part in it. I didn't do the crimes. I didn't do anything.
Do you think ISIS is finished, or do you think that the start of a new ISIS has already started?
I think it's if people are finished from the lands, the lands have been taken, the mentality, it's what will keep going on.
I need on me.
And this is the reality of the truth, you understand?
Yeah.
The ideology is still around, meaning as long as there's ideology, it's not. It's really let's say, I don't know, people are saying, even people that do statistics and stuff like this, I used to watch documentaries there, they're saying, yeah, ISIS is finished, but as long as the ideology is there, it's still around.
Yeah.
It's still around.
Yeah.
It's still around.
ISIS, the organisation that you joined, murdered these people. I'm going to do a video now, and as I've already explained, this we'll keep it short, a couple of minutes. I'm going to have to hand this obviously to the UK security, because I know you lot, I have to cover myself basically, but also as a journalist, we have to keep this. We have to keep this official and above board, and I can't do anything. I can't do anything outside of what is my duty.
France. How old are you just now?
I'm gonna take credit or apologize because I didn't have.
They've just set fire to a couple of tents with children in them. Turns out it was in the western.
People around me, they came with their own will, not because they were brainwashed by.
Stopped off this village here. They were actually selling women here. Yeah, they were actually selling women in this village during the days of ISIS.
I'm correct in saying you were married to Shamina Begum? Yeah. Because ISIS were the ones that were attacking. They were the ones that were committing the mass rape, mass murder, mass child molestation, sex slavery. That had to be stopped, surely.
If you had to stop that, stop it on.
Yeah.
Where from in America?
Chicago, Illinois. That's where I lived like last time before I made Israel.
I'm not here to be interviewed, basically.
No, I would just like to know, because we don't have any information.
I'm not going to give you anything from outside of this room.
Okay.
No.
You.
Because you're known as the butcher of Raqqa.
Yeah.
Why did they not kill you?
Because I'm a surgeon, they wanted my help, they wanted my services, that's why they sentenced me. People don't rob you, people don't steal from you, people don't take money.
No, they just cut your head off. If you go against the Sharia, they cut.
I'm 23 now. I came when I was 17, and I'm from Britain, from Cardiff, Wales.
From Cardiff, Wales.
And you went to which university?
Westminster.
Westminster.
And she said the jihad goes on. That's what she said to me. The jihad goes on. This is not the end. That's what she said.